Hi, my name is Maria Mata-Carcamo, and I'm doing the presentation for my Management 495 class with Dr. Mark Lee. The presentation that I will be doing is doing business in New Zealand. I chose New Zealand because it is one of the easiest places or countries to do business in. It has ranked number 1 in the World Bank on ease of doing business in the last 2 years. Another reason why I chose this country is because it has a high GDP per capita in the world. It has ranked 3rd on the Index of Economic Freedom and the 20th highest GDP per capita in the world. The Ministry of Business has all the tools, templates, and even sample business plans for all of the new businesses. So you literally, all you have to do is log in to their website and you have all the things that you need. It's a one-stop shop. And of course, another good reason to do business in a country is to share the same language. Their primary language is English. So you will have no difficulty communicating. The economy. New Zealand's economy they have about 30% of their GDP is with exports. Their GDP in 2017 was 205.85 billion US dollars, and it has increased by 0.5% as of this March of 2018. It represents 33% of the world economy. Another great thing about that country is that their unemployment rate is 4.4. So that's pretty low for a population of 4.84 million. They have a very low inflation rate because the Reserve Bank manages the monetary policy. The OCR has been 1.75 since September of 2016. That's pretty low. Trading exports and imports are pretty high. They're 5,450 New Zealand dollars, million dollars. And also, the government does not have a huge debt. Their debt is only 61,880 New Zealand dollars. And they have a fiscal expenditure of 99,812 New Zealand dollars, million dollars. New Zealand is part of the Antarctic continent, located approximately 1,000 miles southeast of Australia, and it is composed of 2 islands, the North and the South Islands. The capital of New Zealand is Wellington, and it is located on the North Island. New Zealand is part of the monarchy with a parliamentary system government, which means it is under the power of Queen Elizabeth II. This kind of parliament system is called the constitutional monarchy. There is a governor, and I was quite impressed with this. There is a female governor. Her name is Dame Patsy Reddy. There are no winning parties as they all work together as the National, Labour, and Greens. The government has 3 separate branches of government, and they're made up of ministers. These ministers first had to be part of the House of Representatives in order to be part of the ministries. Ethnic composition and religion and language. New Zealand's culture, also known as a Kiwi culture, is a combination of multicultural society composed of European, Maori, 4.6 of other European Pacific Islander, but they're mainly are European, New Zealand, and Maori. And those are the 2 cultures that really are the most known there. Their top religions are Anglican 24%, Presbyterian at 18%, and Roman Catholic at 15%. The country is egalitarian. They do not have a formal class structure, and their social status is not very important. There are 3 official languages spoken. English is 1. Maori, which is usually used by the Maori culture, which was the culture or the ethnic Polynesians and that were living there before the Europeans took over. And then the New Zealand's sign language. Like I was saying, the culture there is mainly the Kiwis and the Maoris. And both the Kiwis and the Maoris are friendly and value hospitality. They both are very friendly and start conversations, and also feel very comfortable that they can start singing. And mainly the Maoris are the ones that do that. The Kiwis are neatly dressed and move to first name basis and don't usually use titles. They both greet you with a smile and a handshake. They describe themselves as being friendly, reserved, and respectful. The Kiwis are known for using a lot of slang words and speak very fast. Socializing is a big part of their culture. Tea and coffee gatherings during work, drinks after work, and food gatherings with family and friends. That's very traditional. They think that that is a very huge part of their day, is to be able to share meals and drinks with others. The Maori culture is a little bit unique and a little bit different than the Kiwis. They have ceremonies known as the pauiri. Their protocols will be set depending on the visitors. During the pauiri, the visitors walk as groups and are called upon the elders, and seats are assigned, as the meeting can take anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 to 3 hours. They have welcoming speeches, and they also sing songs. Sometimes they will even have the visitors sing a song about a place where they live or where they're coming from. Once everyone's lined up, they shake hands and then they start to eat. They have a huge hierarchy in their formal situations, so the elderly always are high up in the hierarchy. The Kiwis' business meetings and etiquette. So business meetings and etiquette vary in both for the Kiwis and the Maori. For the Kiwis, their business style is casual and conservative. Their appointments or meetings should be scheduled in advance, and punctuality is very important. That's one thing that they share. They like that. Most business meetings are casual and business lunches are popular. They like to be spoken to by first name basis, and greetings are informal. They are very detailed and expect to be informed of the business agreements with all terms and conditions. They do not like negotiations. And they also like to know what's in it for them and what's going to be in it for the other party. They like to see everything clear, and again, no negotiations. The Maori's business meetings and etiquettes are a little bit similar to the Kiwis, but they're a bit more reserved. The Maoris are hospitable, calm, hardworking, and have a good sense of humor. During formal events, the Maori greet each other with a honji, which means pressing your nose and forehead together. Physical greetings depend on the comfort level, and guests are greeted with a pauiri welcoming ceremony, which consists of welcome speeches and songs. The Maori believe in gender equality. Women hold position of power, and loyalty is very important. Removing shoes when entering a Maori tribal meeting is a must. It is disrespectful to sit on the countertops or any place where the food is prepared. The Maori objects or places that are sacred should not be touched. Ask for permission prior to entering the Maori house or a meeting place. And of course, during meals, do not start eating until the food has been blessed. As guests, you may also be asked to sing and introduce yourself and a place where you're coming from. They do share a couple of business etiquettes. Both the Maori and the Kiwis love to drink. They love to buy rounds of drinks in common practice. They love to share food, cash. They also are very, very detailed, and when it comes to an agenda and their meeting, they would like to have their meeting planned out and have an agenda. Business cards are given during introductions, and you must break the ice before starting the business discussions. They both value reliability and trustworthiness. During lunch meetings, to show you have finished your meal, place the knife and fork down on the plate together. They both like to tease and do not appreciate sheep-related jokes. As you can see with some of my images, I have a business plan. The business cards are usually given during the meeting. They like the agenda, and drinks are always a must. Here are a couple of do's and don'ts. Just like with every culture, you want to make sure that you have this noted, because you don't want to be offensive to anyone, make them feel uncomfortable, or perhaps not even close a business deal because of something careless that you did. A couple of things that you can do, a couple of do's, is gift giving. So it's okay to do gifts, not very expensive gifts for both the Maoris and the Kiwis. They accept it, and usually they should not be in high value, and they usually open it in front of you. So it's a good thing to bring a gift when visiting or when starting a meeting. A couple of things not to do. When you're having a meeting, do not bargain. When you're at a restaurant or at a bar, do not tip. It is frowned upon. Don't raise your hand to call the waiter. It is very offensive. Don't compare them to Australia. Don't ask about age, salary, wealth, or weight. Don't overcompliment, and don't touch their head, because their head is considered sacred. That is all I have for the presentation. Here are my references. And this concludes the presentation for doing business in New Zealand for Management 495 with Dr. Mark Lee. Again, this is Maria Mata-Carcamo, and I appreciate you listening in to my presentation. Thank you.